He only sent me one,
Okay,
that's why,
okay,
yeah.
yeah. I keep trying to, I sent you a follow-up email on it. I don't know if you didn't get it.
When did you send it?
Is it going?
I think so.
Lizzie, are you in the middle of something?
Cause I haven't
No.
seen any emails from you.
June 17th?
Let me see. Is that the one, remember you had the wrong email address in there before? You had it with 3 L's or, yeah. There's only one L, there should be 2.
So you're semi-retired now?
Did you get it?
No, that's perfect. About right, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yes, I did.
Oh, good. Yay.
Do
Good
you hit
job.
the record button, or does it always record?
It always records.
Oh, so is it?
He,
Yeah.
he came to work for us.
Oh, it's recording right now.
Yeah.
It's more of a full-time job for it, you know.
There isn't a way to stop it.
Yeah, I could pause it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if we want to wait, I wanted to make sure it was running, so.
Mm-hmm.
But
How are you?
I can turn it off and then
No.
start it when we're ready.
It's almost time.
Yeah.
I can at least mute it.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know if Troy's coming, or not Troy, Jerry's coming or not.
been better.
He didn't say nothing to me.
Didn't say anything to me either. Did you hear from Mike about that wood stuff?
Hmm?
The wood? Did Mike have a chance to talk to his
He
friend?
never call, I'll probably have to call him. He probably forgot. was to us.
Oh, okay.
Get everyone to sign up.
Okay, we ready?
Oh, is that the official?
That's the official.
And-
Yes.
Water utility program and infrastructure.
And I think that goes with the,
Oh, okay.
Sorry about my tardiness.
quite all right.
It's perfect timing. It's looking for your signature. That's right.
Yes, perfect timing. Yeah.
I'll be lying if I say if I walked. I ran.
I was gonna ask if you ran.
I did.
Mhm.
That's enough.
Who was that?
Do they have copies? As fast as I could, anyways.
Mine's when it's in your hand.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, the first thing on the schedule this evening is the Town of Larwill public hearing for the master study. Present are members Lori Wolf, Troy Kiefer, and Jerry Utter, clerk treasurer Renee Sills, and town attorney Greg Hockemeyer. This meeting is being live streamed and recorded in accordance with Indiana Code. All remarks, actions, and conduct during this meeting are part of the official public record and may be viewed live by members of the public or accessed later as an archived recording. Attendees are reminded to conduct themselves with decorum, to speak clearly into the microphones for the benefit of viewers, and to remember that everything said or done during this meeting is accessible to the public and may be retained permanently as part of the official record. So with that, I believe we can turn it over to, and we do have a microphone.
I was gonna say, do you guys want me to be over here?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, just for everybody that's in attendance, my name's Ben Adams.
I'm sorry, if you could actually use the microphone.
Oh, you want me to use the microphone?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Because otherwise the live stream won't pick it up.
My name is Ben Adams, I'm with Commonwealth Engineers. Last year, we were selected to do a free utility study for the town of Larwill. And what I mean by that is we looked at the wastewater system, we looked at the stormwater system, and we also looked at a conceivable, water system for the town. So, I brought with me a handout tonight. Excuse me, we'll go through some of the, recommendations, or at least, alternatives that were set forth within the, planning document. And just for everybody's, I guess, just to let everybody know, I'm not gonna read the whole thing. Just talking out loud. Again, the first thing we'll look at is the alternatives we reviewed for the, actually the wastewater collection system. And we looked at 4 different concepts to sort of, I'll just say, rehabilitate the existing collection system. Alternative 1A is a alternative where we would go in, and just for everybody's information too, when we did the actual study, we actually did a manhole investigation of the entire system. So we actually opened up all the manholes, we inspected them, we did as much as we could from the ground to see what was going on with the collection system. And some of the alternatives, I'll just say, recommend perhaps further investigation of the collection system to try to ferret out anything that's happening inside the pipes that we couldn't see visually from the manholes or anything else. So just wanted to throw that out there. But again, 1A involves some, and the other thing too, just so I don't forget, one of the things that was discussed with the town when we first started to do the study was the collection system stretches within the town proper, and then it also extends north of Highway 30 to service some homes on the north side of 30, as well as a couple of businesses, or at least one business. There is a suspected pipe that's bellied underneath 30 that's causing some issues with flow getting from the north side of town to the actual center part of town and getting to the actual lift stations. So each of the alternatives, 1A, 1B, and 1C, all include some type of repair and or replacement of that pipeline so that sewage can get from point A to point B a lot easier. So just wanted to throw that out. Again, alternative 1A is more of a rehab option, and it involves fixing some of the manholes, fixing the crossing at the highway. It involves some sewer cleaning and televising, but it's only targeted at certain areas. And the total capital costs associated with option 1A are approximately $437,000. 1B is the same alternative, so it would do all the same things, except under 1B, we would actually suggest cleaning and televising the entire collection system such that we could really get a better feel for what's going on internally with the pipes. And there would have to be other recommendations that would be born of that work after we could review that work. So that's more expensive just because we have got a lot more going on, and the estimated total project costs associated with 1B are $602,000. 1C was another option where we looked at the rehab as well as a small sewer extension to service a number of homes that are near the town that currently don't have sewer service. So it's sort of a combination of 1A and then a small sewer extension. Total project costs associated with 1C are $553,000. And then the final alternative that we looked at, that we sort of developed after we had had a couple of meetings with the town, was we think that there could be continued growth on the north side of 30. There's not a good way to get sewage from the north side to the south side of 30. And the way the ground sits up there, we could actually set a lift station that would open up a big TIF area that the town already has established, sort of in the northeast quadrant of the town, which would facilitate hopefully potential future growth. And then also associated with 1D are some of the exact same recommendations associated with some minor sewer repairs and other work. So the final wastewater option, at least when we're looking specifically at the collection system, is approximately $680,000. We also looked at the town's existing lift stations, and one of the issues that was brought up was in times when there's no power, it's an issue because the town sends all their sewage to the town of Pearston for treatment. So if their lift stations aren't operable, certainly that's an issue because obviously we can't pump the sewage from here to there. So there was a couple of different instances that were relayed to us regarding various power outages where we couldn't pump and sewage spilled on the ground. So we looked at some permanent generator options for the lift stations too, in an effort to make them more, I'll just say, power outage adverse. So we looked at a couple of different options involving a permanent generator at their main lift station. And then we also looked at an option where we could do a portable generator and then put a plug on the actual control panel and hook up a portable generator. And oddly enough, the permanent generator option is the cheaper of the two options, at approximately $100,000 versus the $115,000 associated with portable. And it's just, and again, those are the two options we looked at for the lift stations. We looked at a number of stormwater alternatives too, and this was a tougher deal for us because the town didn't have, and it's not uncommon, quite frankly, the town didn't have a great map of their stormwater conveyance system, which is not, again, unique in any way. In a lot of small towns where there's different field tiles, legal drains, storm sewer infrastructure that was actually put in when they built certain roads, it's all sort of a hodgepodge, and sometimes it doesn't always work the way you hope it might. So that was tougher for us to figure out exactly where everything was going. We were able to identify inlets and open drains that we could look into. And we tried to develop a rudimentary map of the stormwater collection system. And we noted from, again, various conversations with the town, some hot spots, problem areas that we thought we could improve with storm sewer improvements. And so the options sort of revolve around that. Alternative one is a rehab option again, and includes some targeted stormwater improvements. One thing I'll mention too, and I know the town council's heard this a number of times, there are maps associated with each of the options at the back of the handout. So if you want to leaf through, you can sort of see some of the options as I'm discussing. The other storm sewer option had more pipe on it, so it was more expensive. So it was approximately $150,000 for option number one. Option number two was about twice as expensive. Quite frankly, you probably could do a stormwater project that would be even double of that if you were to replace wholesale mains along certain streets. But again, it was hard to really ferret out some of that. We did come down once or twice when it was raining out, so we were able to see surface water standing in certain spots, but hard for me to know where certain storm sewers are going all the time. So those two options were stormwater related. The final thing we did, and it was sort of maybe more of the focus for us, just because we could really dig in and look at a number of different options, was when we looked at the public water system alternatives, there was actually a number of things that we could do, and it really revolved around one of two concepts. The town could actually, develop their own water system that's unique to Larwill, and install wells, install maybe perhaps a treatment facility of some sort, and then an elevated storage tank to hold the water, and then run distribution mains throughout the city. So that was one option, or actually we had a number of options that revolved around that, and they all sort of revolved around what type of treatment we would need to provide to the raw water that we would need to test and look into at the end of the day. So those three options are identified as 1A, 1B, and 1C. And the real true difference in total project costs associated with each of the options is, if we could get away with little or no treatment, it would be the cheapest of the three alternatives. If we had to put in a full-scale treatment facility with an iron removal, filter, and all that, it was gonna be the most expensive of the three options. We also, though, with respect to the water system, looked at actually purchasing water from a nearby water source that had an established municipal water utility. So we reached out to both the town of Pearson and the city of Columbia City to see if they would be interested in selling Larwill water. Both entities actually said that they would be. Both towns are not terribly close, and so obviously the cost associated with purchasing water from one of those entities was actually relatively high. And if you read through all the water options, they're all relatively expensive. I mean, certainly the town couldn't move forward with anything water related unless they were to get a significant grant funding source to partner with them so that they could actually do a water project. But that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I know that I've gone through this with the town on a number of occasions, so they've heard all of this before, but I'm open to questions from the public or council.
Questions?
No.
I do have one question, and it's very specific. On all of the stormwater plans, in the lower left, there's a designation, build-up gravel driveway. And
Yes.
if you need to get with me later, that's fine, but that's our driveway, so I'm just kind of curious what that means exactly.
I would have to get some clarification on that, Troy.
Okay.
I really would.
Yeah, that's fine.
Again, I think we just looked at anything we could do to try to direct stormwater runoff to appropriate drains in certain areas.
Mhm.
So maybe that was something we looked at from a topography perspective and thought if we would build it up and direct the water somewhere else. But I could ask my engineer about that and get back to you specifically on that.
Okay, just not, it's not pressing, just.
Well, again, I
whatever.
apologize, I don't know the answer, but
No.
I can look into it for you, okay?
Yeah, like I said, it was very specific, so.
Yeah, I usually tell these guys to just go through and anything that they can think of, put on there. So I'm not saying it wouldn't be needed, but again, let me ask some
Mhm.
questions. Okay,
Yep.
thank you. Any other questions from the public?
More questions, Brian, from them today, and I'll give you all a summary of a 3A portion of the project when the Commonwealth guys are done.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, a little bit here on the, this is Chris Harrison with Commonwealth Engineers. On the options that you have before you, the master utility plan is a fundable document. What you need to look at this and identify is what projects the community wants to move forward with, and then obviously look at the funding avenues. Obviously, Oprah will be one of those funding avenues. State revolving funds could easily be your match, along with rural development. And then, currently you guys are working on a stormwater project with your CCNG project. That's another avenue to get grant funding to help support the stormwater projects. We need to have plans updated and beforehand and take a hard look at the survey accordingly. So there's plenty of options here. It would not surprise me if the town decides to move on the water side, that you have high manganese in the system, potential other contaminants that would qualify for grant funding. Even the regionalization of this system would be an avenue for grant funding. So don't necessarily look at the big number, okay? Look at what is your potential for the community long-term, and then basically drill down into those funding avenues.
Thank you, Chris. That's good.
Great, thank you.
I got a question. I'm looking at for the water here. Okay. So if I understand this correct, like this 1A, the total cost for this distribution tower, the capital cost would be $9,797,000. Okay. And now I'm looking down here. What's this O and M and R cost?
Oh, that's a good question. What we did with the water system, just because it would be a brand new utility for the town. Not only did we look at the capital costs associated with actually developing
Yeah,
the
so it'd
water
be
system.
9 million, almost 10 million just to put the water tower and all that in there.
Correct. So you would need all that infrastructure to make it go. But then the O and M and R is the operation, the maintenance, the replacement costs that would also be associated with the water system. So it's not just the capital cost, it's the cost associated with maintaining the system and keeping it operational after it's actually installed. So those are what those costs
So then
are.
it would be additional $97,000 a year to keep it going, and then 15 years down the road, you'd be an additional $112,000. I mean, that correct?
That's exactly correct, yes. So, again, you guys already have an established budget for your sanitary collection system, and you guys have an operation and maintenance costs associated with that, so these would be new costs associated just for the water system. So, yeah, good question.
And the reason we define that is because that is part of your overall costs associated with basically running a utility. But with that, the replacement cost is another factor. What they are seeing long-term is easier to maintain a system than it is to, or more cost-effective to maintain a system long-term than to basically not do anything and then 20, 30 years do a huge capital improvement. So, any type of improvement that you would be looking for grant funding, state revolving funds, I don't know if rural development does or not, but they are requiring an asset management plan. There is a bill that was just recently passed requiring communities to have an asset management plan. That's called House Bill 1459. So with your sewage utility, the community is going to have to move forward with an asset management plan. There is guidance coming out in October for communities under 1,000. So be looking for that information. But anything you do, if you're planning on moving forward with any major projects, you want to make sure that's going to meet your state revolving fund guidance as far as your asset management plan.
Yeah, and I guess furthermore, to lob on to what Chris said, when we look at those OM and R costs, those replacement costs that we have budgeted there, we show an annual amount, but then we also show, the total OM and R combination. But like Chris said, you need to sort of sock away that money to replace things as they break, and that's the whole purpose behind this asset management plan. So,
Okay. Thank you, gentlemen.
thank you.
Yes, please go right ahead.
Good evening. I'm Dave G. from Region 3. My agency has been working with the town of Larwill on the grant for the master utility study. The grant is a community development block grant project that the town received in the amount of $87,000 through the Office of Community and Rural Affairs to study the town's drinking water, wastewater, and stormwater. This is a federal grant offered through the HUD program. The total project cost was $96,960. Of this, $57,546 was to benefit low and moderate income persons. The town will expend a total of $9,960 in local match toward the completion of the project. The town went through the procurement process on hiring a firm to complete the master utility study. The firm that was hired was Commonwealth Engineers. They have completed the plan and have presented their findings at this public hearing. Looking at the timeline, the town was awarded the grant in December of 2023. Commonwealth worked with the town and a steering committee during the last year to develop the plan. The funding allowed the study to be completed that identifies potential upgrades for the town's wastewater, drinking water, and stormwater. We are required through the federal process to have 2 public hearings. This is the final public hearing to present the findings of the plan. The first public hearing was held in November 2023 prior to the application submittal. A resolution to adopt the plan has been provided if the town is satisfied with what is presented this evening, and I have final copy of the master plan and resolution will be submitted to the Office of Community and Rural Affairs for state review and their approval process. Once Okra completes their review, we will submit the final draw to pay all invoices and then close out the grant. And as you've heard from Commonwealth this evening, they presented their findings to you and asked for comments and discussion. And with that, we can close the public hearing at 7:28. And if you would, there's a resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. And I would assume that would be appropriate to review and vote on at our regular meeting next?
Yes, yeah.
And we can do that at the beginning of that meeting. Okay, there being nothing else regarding the public hearing, I'll now call to order the Town of Larwill regular meeting for July 10th, 2025. Regular meeting of the Town Council, President are Lori Wolf, Troy Kiefer, Jerry Utter, Clerk Treasurer Renee Sills, and Council Attorney Greg Hockemeyer. I guess, just for the record, I may have to shorten this. But this meeting is being live streamed and recorded in accordance with Indiana Code. All remarks, actions, and conduct during this meeting are part of the official public record and may be viewed live by members of the public or accessed later as an archived recording. Remember that everything said or done during this meeting is accessible to the public and may be retained permanently as part of the official record. Do we have any motions on the minutes?
I make a motion to accept the minutes.
I heard you say you have a motion to suspend the
No,
rules to,
Oh,
or
yes.
to amend the rules to suspend
Yes.
the
Mhm.
reading of the minutes.
I'll
Yes.
second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
That's in fine form. That's
Okay, thank you. Motion then on the minutes themselves.
Yes, I'll make the motion.
Okay.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes as written. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, and that motion carries. First item of unfinished business, we've been presented with a resolution, Town of Larwill Resolution Number 2025-2. Resolution approving the Larwill Master Utility Study by the Larwill Town Council. And does this require a full reading?
It does not require a full reading, but it would require a vote for approval.
Okay. Do we have any discussion on this matter?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, have a motion? Do it again.
I make a motion to approve.
Basically just approves this and sort of bookends this situation to close out this part of a project. This is the study.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this matter?
Not that I can think
I
of.
can't think of
Okay.
anything either.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Resolution passes. Okay, next item is a report on 105 West Main, lawsuit update.
We are right now in the waiting period on that. I have filed a motion for summary judgment, and in a nutshell, generally we have to wait 40 days before we can then request judgment, see if they ask for a hearing or not. But So we're in another waiting period before we can ask for a judgment. I did drive by. I don't think it's any worse than it has been. So we'll see. There may be slow progress. You guys would know better than I. You have eyes on it more consistently. But that's where we are procedurally.
Okay, any conversation? Discussion of that matter?
Nope.
Okay. Next item, the 2575 grant for Hammond Street. Update on a start date.
The last email, which you guys have a copy of it right here, it just says mid-August. Doesn't really have a date. So that's the latest on the start date of the Hammond Street project.
Okay. I know I received some of that email conversation. Did all the board members, were they all copied on that? I didn't notice that. Was it just me
I
or
think it was
you?
just you. I think you're the only one that was on it,
Okay.
but I will.
And we can, that information can be shared, but
Yeah,
basically,
I will.
there was a conversation about some of the concrete structures that needed to be created, and that's sort of the source of the delay, along with the organizational disruption they've had. So. Any questions about that?
No.
A list of unsafe buildings in Larwill, specifically 102 East Main, Indiana Historical Home.
So Brett Darr did come down and gave me, let me copy some pictures and some information on the doctor that actually lived there and stuff. So I do have that, so I can add that to the application. So I do have that.
Okay, so you are moving forward with that application? And,
Yep.
okay. Any questions?
No.
Live stream of council meetings is required as of July 1st. Just to put everybody on notice, if you go to YouTube and you just search for Town of Larwill, it'll be the first thing that comes up. So this will be the second meeting that we have on there. And then the next item is Larwill YouTube channel to organize and store meetings. As far as I know, what I know about YouTube is we have a channel, it'll be on there indefinitely. Does raise the question as to whether or not we should try and, I suppose, download those, if that's
Yeah, because we have
possible.
to keep these for 90 days. So
They will be on there for at least 90 days
Okay.
unless YouTube,
I just didn't know if it's a way to kind of record keep.
I think it's advisable to store the 90 days worth on on a local drive. That 90 days worth would be 3 or 4 meetings, right?
Yeah.
So,
And I just didn't know, excuse me, you get a YouTube channel, then people can go back through and look through the other ones. I just know that other towns have been doing it. You gotta have up to 50 subscribers for your YouTube channel, but I just thought, it'd pull us into the 20th century. I don't know, just think about it.
yeah. I can look into it a little bit more, see if there
Okay.
is a way that we can download it, just so we're not relying on YouTube. I don't know about, I know you mentioned the 50 subscriber thing before. I don't know if that's to monetize or what, but we have, I can tell you, we have 3 subscribers, and we still have last month's meeting up,
Okay,
so,
so go subscribe.
yeah, and I'm one of them, so.
Okay.
New business, budget for 2026 ideas. We have a workshop July 16th, or the workshop is July 16th.
July workshop is July. So you guys have a copy of the 2026 budget for the town of Larwill. Anything that's in yellow has been an increase, and then I've also decreased some funds. The increases are like the FICA, the Medicare, the liability insurance, let's see, the truck insurance, I had to raise it a little bit. And then the street lights, I raised it, And then dues and publications, I also had to raise that one. But then in turn, I decreased the telephone. And the workman's comp, I reduced it, but gave it to the liability insurance just to kind of balance those two. And the budget for, as of right now, for 2026 is $273,820. Last year, the budget was $233,691, which is an increase of $40,129. What I did was I increased the American Rescue Fund. I increased that because we're going to use some of it. It's budgeted for this year and some of it's budgeted for next year. So that was the reason for the large increase, is that we didn't budget for the whole we didn't budget the whole amount. So now we're budgeting this year for half of it and next year's for the other half, so.
Okay.
And the public hearing for the budget will be August 14th at 7 p.m. And the adoption date will be September the 11th at 7 p.m. We need to have on the September 11th, we need to have at least 2 council members have to be here. So if you have any plans or anything, let me know so I can change the date.
Because we have to publish the notice of
Yep.
those.
Okay, any questions, discussion?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay. Well, thank you for your hard work on that, and be interesting to see how the workshop goes, but there don't appear to be a lot of major changes, despite, like you say, the increase, but that's because of the way it's budgeted.
Yep. And we're still budgeted the same amount for street repairs and the infrastructure as we are in 2025, the same as in 2026. So,
That's good.
Okay. Increase of fire protection to $1,800 per year.
you guys have a letter there?
And are you here to present on that?
I wasn't gonna present too much, but I think.
Okay. You just identify who you are and please proceed.
I'm Kim Arnold, I'm the trustee. I am looking not only at fire protection contracts with Town of Larwill. Edna Troy pays a contract, and then the township pays the fire department as well. So all of the 3 contracts are being looked at. I'm asking for consideration for an increase. This contract, keep in mind that the town plows the parking lot down there. So we're trying to keep the cost low on this, because the cost of the truck, the insurance has gone up, the fuel has gone up, and he does take care of that parking lot for us when it snows. So that's part of the perks of the contract for fire protection, kind of like a trade. So I'm just asking for consideration. We've got a very, very old fleet down there, and a lot of stuff is changing rapidly. Inflation's going up, and we're kind of struggling. So, as you probably can tell when you see the equipment driving by, there's one truck that's in the year 2000s, so it's just, everything's expensive. So, just asking for consideration.
Okay. Thank you.
Do you guys want to consider that for 2026, because I'll have to change the budget? Right now, we pay $1,500 a year
Yeah, I see, it's good.
for fire protection.
So too, I think we should do it, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, next item, Leslie Blakely from Bowen Center.
Good evening. My name's Leslie Blakely. I'm with Bowen Health. A lot of people know us as Bowen Center. That's not uncommon. We still hear that a lot. So I'm just here to introduce myself. I'm a new position with Bowen Health. We've recently gone through a restructuring and a rebranding, so I'll kind of just update you a little bit on both of those items. So I'm the Director of Community Engagement for Whitley County. I'm fortunate that I get to focus only on one county. A lot of my counterparts have 2 counties that they're responsible for. And really, my position is to be out and about, out in the community at events, at meetings like this, introducing myself and introducing Bowen, talking more about the services that we have available. And so just wanted to kind of update you on that restructuring. We've recently kind of gone through an evaluation of positions within the organization and how can we best serve the communities that we are entrusted to care for. And many of you probably know Bowen Center as being the community's mental health care provider for Whitley County. That's still the case. That's not changing. We don't expect that to change. But in addition to that, part of our rebranding and our restructuring is that we now also offer in most of our clinics and offices, certainly here in Whitley County, we offer primary care services as well. So anything you would see your family physician for, you can now come to Bowen and you can receive that type of care. We're excited to start talking about that after the first of the year. We will begin construction that is in a space that's already enclosed in our current facility on a dental clinic. And so that's a much needed service for those underserved and uninsured or underinsured individuals in our community. Currently, those individuals are being given referrals to go to dental clinics in the Indianapolis area, which is not practical for anyone. So we have recognized that as a need in our community and many of the communities that Bowen serves across Northeast Indiana. And so you'll see, I believe the Warsaw office is opening soon. We'll have their dental clinic up and running. Our construction should start shortly after the first of the year, and we're hoping by around this time next year to be serving dental patients as well. So just wanted to kind of update you a little bit on that rebranding. We have restructured the organization as well. That created my position and has kind of restructured the staffing model and the staffing footprint to make us more efficient as far as the business administration side of the organization, so that we're able to devote more of our resources to clinicians, whether that be on the mental health care side or on the primary health care side, and in the future, the dental health care. So that just tells you a little bit about who we are. I'd be happy to leave Renee some information about Bowen and our services. I'm happy to plug into any community events that you might have. If you think that there are events and activities that would be beneficial for us to participate in, set up a booth to provide information to community members, we're happy to do that. So I'm just really out introducing myself to some of the smaller communities that maybe aren't as familiar with our services, and just get the information out. So we're happy to take any requests that you might have and see if I can work that into my schedule. So any questions I can answer for you.
Leslie, on the dental end of that, I assume that a lot of local dentists won't take Medicaid. Is that
Correct.
Is that the basic thing you're talking about?
That is correct,
Okay.
yes. On the adult and on the pediatric side, we've had some newer clinics, dental clinics that have opened recently with the intention of accepting Medicaid. My estimation is that they get into that process and realize it's pretty cumbersome and that it's maybe not worth the return on their investment. In order to do that, we're blessed that we have a large administrative office that is able to handle all the hoops that you have to jump through in order to provide care and to be able to qualify for and accept Medicaid.
And Bowen Health continues to be not-for-profit.
Correct. Absolutely. Yes. Great question. Any other questions?
That was my question.
Okay. Very good. All right. Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Okay, new maintenance equipment request?
Yeah, the grass weed cutter is 5 years old, and Mike from maintenance notified me that it is on its last leg. So he is requesting the town to purchase a new
Trimmer.
trimmer. But he would also, me and him were talking, he would also like to have it with some attachments, you know, like with like a mini chainsaw on the end of it, so that, you know, he can cut down some tree limbs that are hanging down on the roads. And a blade that will actually cut like larger weeds that we sometimes have to cut down here in town. So I did look at some. They range from $200 to $400 is what they range from. So, and we'll need at least 26 cc's or more on the, and he would like it to be a quick start, so it's easier to start. So, just asking the council if they can okay the purchase of a new trimmer.
Have you identified a budget line item that would come from?
We have equipment in the general fund that we can use.
Any thoughts, questions, discussion?
I think we should go ahead and get it. I mean, that's something that he really needs to have if he's gonna keep the town looking good. Can't have weeds and stuff growing up all over the place, so.
Have you talked about any dollar figures?
The ones I looked at, some are 200 and some of them go up as, that's just a general, you know, a grass trimmer.
Yes,
The
ma'am.
other stuffs, it goes up as close to $400.
Use my cap.
So maybe a cap of the $400?
I would say 5.
5?
Yeah. Because you have
Okay.
attachments.
Yeah.
And they're all
Alright.
gonna cost.
What is it?
Yeah.
He said 500, is that a motion?
I make that
Okay.
motion.
Yes.
Okay.
He moved to authorize up to $500.
And we have
spent on that, he moved.
Have a second?
Yes, have a second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to approve purchase of the trimmer for up to $500. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Council concerns on property violations such as high grass, junk cars, or rubbish. Specifically 205 East North Street.
The heat has just been so horrible that it's really hard for them to get out there. They tried a couple times and, you know, who can cut a tree when it's 90 degrees out and, you know, 100% humidity, and so they're asking for another month to try to, and then Renee and I are working on an idea of maybe finding somebody in town who burns wood that would like to cut it up and haul it away, you know, for them, because they're just gonna cut it up and stack it and give it away anyway. So, there's somebody we've been trying to get a hold of, and we'll see if they can just, if they're interested, just go cut it up and haul it away. And then everybody will be happy. And then I have something I want to add. Of course, being a painter, I keep an eye on everything, and outside, this is an old building, and it's had a million coats of paint on it, and it is peeling, and it is peeling like back down to the original brick, and we would be painting it forever. So we only have 2 sides of this building. So leave the front the way it is. I would like to get some quotes for maybe putting siding on these 2 outside walls, so we don't have to worry about painting and anything like that. And it's only 2 sides. So thought I'd get several estimates and we could look at it then. Sound good?
I don't see any harm in any estimates.
Okay?
Sounds good.
Yep.
Be a
I
good
would-
starting point.
Yes, that's what I thought. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Okay. Anything else from the council members?
No.
I'll have something, but it'll be more towards the end.
No?
Okay.
Anything from the public? Any comments, concerns? Okay. Financial report.
Just one more thing, I am gonna buy a cabinet back there to place all of the equipment for the live stream in it, so I will get that ordered.
That's what it was. I wanted to thank Lori for the work on the cabling.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks very nice.
Much better than it was last time.
Yeah, yeah, so that's much appreciated. That's exactly what I'd envisioned, and it looks very nice. So
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, financial report. Okay, so the bank balance is $875,606.95. The deposits for the month of June is $56,220.60. The town did receive payments for delinquent sewer billings that were placed against the taxes of the property owners. And then also to the unsafe building, the one that the town cleaned up, that one there also got paid as the tax lien was paid. And the registered claims for the month of July are $11,722.08. Everything is the same as it always is. The Ellen Financial, that there was an additional, they had broke, when the stuff was purchased for the live streaming, they broke it out in 2 different months. So some came out in June and some was put on the card in July. So that is the reason why that's there. And then the Avanamark consultant for $1,745.60. That's in continuation with the Hamager Street project. And then the Larwill Painting Company, $170.59. That's for the installation of the cable covers and the painting of that. And then the Willie County Recorder for $55. That there was for the placement of the mortgage note for house number 11 for the Indiana Rehabilitation Fund.
Make a motion to approve the financial report.
I second it.
We have a motion and a second to approve the financial report as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. The one thing I wanted to bring up is with the streaming now, I like the way I like the way these meetings run. Kind of informal and, that's what I like about Larwill and in small towns. However, I think we probably need to have some rules regarding our meetings in the event that they're needed. I don't want to be in a situation, kind of the way we run things work very well, like this meeting here, but if we would have anything where the public would have a lot of interest, we don't want to be changing our rules right then, because it might appear, in our efforts to be efficient and to fit everyone's comments into a certain time frame, it may look like we're limiting comments. So it would be better, I think, to have some rules in place now regarding time speaking and what have you. So I guess I would ask Greg, does South Whitley have anything that we could?
They do not, but I will check around. The rules of procedure would make sense, and we'll try to get something that's reasonable and short. You're mainly concerned about speaking times and the
orderly.
Some of this, yeah.
Orderly meetings and
and
signing up before the meeting
Mhm.
if you want to speak and those types of things.
Yep. Let me get you some proposals on that, and I will not invent the wheel. I'm sure there's things around.
Okay. Anything else?
That's a good idea.
Yep. That is a good idea.
Yeah. Okay, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, thank you all very much.
Oh, that's fine. Okay. Yeah. Yep. You could probably go in there right now. Yeah.
Well, I have my phone on, but sometimes that doesn't work very well.
Yeah, you should be on there right now. No, yeah. Just go there, go to Town of Larwill, and there should be the meeting from last month, so you can do like a preliminary.
Yes.
You try to
Great to
last
see
month.
you.